Hello, my name is Garry Salomon, and I am a partner at Saperstein Salomon right here in New Jersey. I am also certified as a civil trial attorney by the Supreme Court of New Jersey. I only represent people that have been hurt because of an accident, and most of the time, they got hurt in a car accident. But did you know that your rights to compensation in a car accident, your payment of medical bills, your lost wages, and your right to sue depends upon your coverage and not the guy who did this to you? Please allow me to explain. So it's that time again when you get that dreaded car insurance renewal form. Making matters worse, there's a bill included in that package and it's higher than last year's bill. So you get frustrated and decide that you are going to shop around to save money, or worse, you decide to reduce your benefits to save a few dollars. Be careful in your selections, or you may live to regret your decisions. First of all, do not be fooled by funny or clever TV commercials. When buying car insurance, you are purchasing a sophisticated and complex product that is designed to protect you, your family members, and your assets. You need to know that the car insurance you buy in New Jersey affects you and all of your household family members. Generally, good quality insurance costs more than bare bones minimum coverage. For that reason, I strongly recommend that you buy your insurance through an independent insurance agent. They will often shop your coverage through several insurance carriers and give you the best coverage for the lowest premium. Now, in New Jersey, we have no-fault insurance. It is your own car insurance that will pay for your medical bills, your lost wages, regardless of who caused the accident. The medical benefits and lost wage benefits are called personal injury protection. We commonly call this PIP benefits. So what happens when you buy insurance? There are 4 decisions that you need to make. Number 1 is the amount of insurance you have in case you are sued. That is called your liability coverage. Number 2 is the amount of personal injury protection, or PIP coverage, that you have in case you are hurt. And number 3, the amount of underinsured or uninsured motorist coverage you have. And finally, the threshold you select will determine if you or your family members can sue for non-permanent soft tissue injuries. You also need to know that you should be clear on your application or renewal to make certain that you list all members of your household that hold driver's licenses and that you list all of your designated drivers. This may even include children just getting their permits. If you have any car that is registered in New Jersey, it must be insured. If you fail to insure a registered car, you will not be able to bring a claim for injuries, and you will be denied medical benefits no matter how life-threatening or serious your injuries may be. So insure all cars and all potential drivers. Even if you are lending a car to a family member for an extended period of time, list them as a designated driver. If you don't, they may not be given insurance coverage. You also need to buy enough insurance to equal the value of all of your property and assets as well as your salary. Too often I have seen people who own bank accounts, houses, or have good salaries take only $15,000 in bodily injury coverage and $5,000 in property damage. Why is that bad? Well, if some cut-rate insurance company gave you the minimum coverage and you rear-end someone in a Mercedes-Benz and that car is totaled and that driver becomes seriously injured, it will be your responsibility to pay for all of their losses above your coverage. So you may be responsible for the extra $75,000 in property damage to the Benz and perhaps $100,000 or more for the injuries to the driver you rear-ended. So my advice to you is to make sure you have enough liability coverage and that you match that to your uninsured and underinsured coverage amounts as well. Please understand that if you are hurt by someone that has only the minimal liability coverage, that it will be your underinsured motorist coverage from your own insurance company that will pay you for your pain and suffering related to your injuries. We suggest that you buy $300,000 single limit coverage as a minimum. That way you and your family will be protected. Also, never make your health insurance company from work primary over your car insurance policy. Always make PIP primary over your major medical coverage. Number 2 is your PIP insurance. We all know that medical bills are quite high, and it does not take much to rack up over $100,000 in medical bills. Up until a few years ago, all policies had $250,000 of medical bill coverage. But recently, the law was changed so that insurance companies can sell lower PIP medical coverage. And they love doing it because they can save themselves a lot of money if you get hurt. So when you call companies such as Geico, Progressive, State Farm, Allstate, price out your existing coverage and not the reduced coverage. In fact, ask them for the best coverage and then have them sharpen their pencils on the premium they quote, and not on the benefits and coverage you get. Number 3 is your uninsured and underinsured motorist coverage. This comes into play if you were hurt by someone that just did not buy or did not pay for their insurance, so that they are virtually uninsured. If that happens, it will be your uninsured motorist coverage from your own insurance company that will pay for your harms and losses related to your injuries. But this is what you need to know. You can only buy as much underinsured or uninsured motorist coverage to equal your liability coverage. So take that into consideration when selecting your liability coverage amount. That's why we recommend that you purchase a minimum of $300,000 in liability coverage so that you can insure yourself for that amount as well. Number 4 is the threshold. In New Jersey, you can purchase no threshold or a limited threshold. Sometimes the limited threshold is called the verbal threshold or limitation on tort threshold. Now, if you purchase a limited threshold, you cannot sue for non-permanent injuries. You can still sue for your economic losses, such as lost income. But with a limitation on lawsuit threshold, you cannot sue for your pain and suffering, your disabilities, and your future losses. You would have to suffer an injury to a body part, causing it no longer to function normally again without further medical treatment. Other injuries that break this threshold include death, dismemberment, significant scarring, a fracture that is displaced, or loss of a fetus. Usually an injury to the back, such as a ruptured or herniated disc that was caused by the accident, can break the threshold. We recommend that you select no threshold, but we understand that by doing so, you'll be increasing the cost of your insurance. So this is your choice. By the way, the selection of threshold you make will apply to all members of your household, no matter where or in whose car they are injured in. But there is an exception to this threshold, and that is if the accident was caused by a truck or commercial vehicle. If that happens, then no threshold will apply. So here is my advice in a nutshell. Number 1, buy insurance from an independent insurance agent. Number 2, buy a minimum of $300,000 of single limit coverage. Number 3, make sure you get $250,000 in PIP medical coverage that is primary over your major medical coverage. Number 4, make sure your underinsured and uninsured coverage equals your liability coverage. Number 5, if you can afford it, elect no threshold as your threshold. Number 6, make sure all cars, household members, and drivers are listed on the policy. And number 7, review your declaration page when you get it and make sure it's correct. If you have any questions about this, call your insurance agent or call me at 1-800-LAW-2000. Our firm has been representing the injured for over 30 years. I'm Garry Salomon. Thank you for watching. You can reach me at 1-800-529-2000, 1-800-LAW-2000. Thank you.